Hey, book babes. Welcome to Two Girls, One TBR. I'm Rebecca. I'm deep in my villain era and obsessed with morally gray men over at Azraella Reads on Instagram.
And I'm Chelsea. If I'm not narrating it, I'm reading it. And you can find all the bookish chaos at Chelsea in Chapters on Instagram.
We're your chaotic book besties here to wreck your reading list, one morally gray man at a time.
This week's episode is the one where tropes ruined us.
Fantastic. Well, I welcome everybody for joining us. This is our first episode of our little podcast. So please be kind to us. We're trying. And let us know, of course, how we're doing. But here, I'll give us a little backstory about us so we can, so you all can know who we are, so you can get to know our fun side.
All our sides are fun sides.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Well, the first thing I'm going to talk about, I guess, I'll start is what was my gateway book? Well, my gateway book back into this world is actually it was ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Um, if I'm sure many of you have read this, it is absolutely a wonderful series. I loved it. Anything that Sarah writes, I love. But I live for the spicy open door romance. If there's no spice, I don't have interest. But I'm deep into romantasy, dark fantasy, dark romance. Give me villains, and the more red flags, the better. That's what got me. But when you go into ACOTAR, that definitely has those elements. And once that door was open, there's no going back. How about
And you
you?
do have, I was going to say, you do have the best dark fantasy recommendations on your page.
Well, thank you so very much. I have, I am definitely in my villain era. Definitely at this point. I'm looking here at my little stack of books that I can talk about today while we're doing our thing, and it's definitely dark. But there's so many wonderful men in these books.
I'm going to get there eventually.
Oh,
Um,
yes, we have to get you into your villain era. Because
yes.
once you get into it, there's no coming back. I just want you to know, once you're in that world, there's no going back. But yeah, that is my gateway. That's what got me back into reading and started this journey. All right, how
Yep.
about you?
So mine, I mean, I used to read a lot when I was younger. Then I had kids, and what really got me back into it was Colleen Hoover's "It Ends with Us." Went through my whole coho phase, and now I'm into the romantasy genre, thanks to Fourth Wing and books like A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is ACOTAR. I prefer open door spice, but I can do the closed door depending on the story. It's got to be really good. um, I like just the new ideas that push my comfort zone, which is definitely what dark romance is for me. I'm dipping my toes into it and starting to like it more and more.
Oh, getting into that kind of thing, I have here, I'll show you this one here. Now, if you want to dip your toe, well, you dipped your toe into this one.
Hmm.
You already know. But if you're getting into dark fantasy, I
The
can't
best.
I can't recommend this enough. There's some people that are like, "Eh, it's fantastic. You will meet one of the absolute top tier book boyfriends when you read this series. And thank me later. Believe me,
Yeah.
Chelsea knows.
Yes, and if you're on Spotify, what she held up is the first book of the Plated Prisoner series, which is
Yes.
Guild, is the first
Yes.
book.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
yes.
Raven Kennedy is absolutely amazing. It's a 6 book completed series. She knocked it out of the park.
Absolutely did.
And it is very dark. It has a lot of darkness. It has some heaviness, but the main character, the female main character, when you're following her and you're seeing her transformation from what she was to what she becomes, it's absolutely amazing. And then, of course, you meet. We can't name him because you have to find out, but he's top tier, and you will never want to go back.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yep, he's going to be top three for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Now the next little thing we're going to say is what this is a random fun fact about us. Now Chelsea knows this about me, but I like to cross stitch and I've been working on a lap quilt for 18 years. It's old enough to vote.
18 years. That's correct. 1-8.
I
And
have
tell us
to
again, or tell it, well, everybody for the first time. I've heard it. But what is the cross or the lap quilts theme.
It's birds. It's like a winter scene. It's winter birds, but I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it on our Instagram page, so you can
Yes, I
see
haven't seen
it.
it yet. I'm excited.
I have to remember. I have it. It's out in the living room, and I have it in my sewing basket thing. And it's, yeah, 18 years, at least 18 years, because I've been with my husband for 16 years, and I know I started it at least 2 years before I met him. So it's at least 18. So it's old enough to vote. I laughed because I thought about it. That's really, it's old enough to vote. That is terrible. And I'm only like a quarter of the way through it. That's even worse. It's going to probably take me 47 years to finish it. So when I die in this world and my children are left with it, hopefully I have it done and they know that it was a labor of love. It took mom 47 years to finish it.
That lap quilt might need its own Instagram,
The
I'm
slow
thinking.
process of it. But it'll be really pretty once I get it done. But who knows when that'll be? It could be another 18 years. Who knows? So what's a random fun fact about you?
I'm an aspiring audiobook narrator. Just finished narrating my first romance novel, and
Nice.
still waiting for it to get reviewed. She did update me that she's working on it. She's just been busy. And then it should be releasing within, I would hope, the next month.
Very nice. I'm just so proud
Yeah.
of you.
Thank you.
I love it. That's neat. Wait, you have a very soothing voice in that. So I
Thanks.
think I do believe people will love hearing your voice reading to them.
I hope so. If you were to ask my husband, I think he gets annoyed by it. So I hope the rest of the world likes my voice more than he does.
Just find you very, very soothing in your talk. When you're
Well, he
speaking in
must
that.
he must have liked it at one point. It's
Well,
probably
yeah.
just gotten old after the last 15 years.
Well, I seen a thing? It was like one of those little meme things, and it said, like, never judge, your wife's decisions because you were one of them.
That's right. I
So,
like that one.
so,
That's a good one.
but no, now Daniel, no, my husband Daniel, no, he has no interest in this either. He has no interest in my bookstagram. He has no interest in. I try to tell him like my books that I'm reading. Like I was trying to tell him, about the one I'm reading right now. No, I tried. I tried.
And
I'm like,
that's
come on.
why our little bookstagram found family is so important.
Yes, it's a wonderful feeling when you find your people, the people that understand you and like the same kind of things that you like. Bless his heart. He loves his video games and things like that, but can't get him into my book world. But maybe it's good. But maybe it's good. But I told him though, uh, if he would get some bat wings, I
There
would
you
be interested
go.
in seeing that. But if you haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses, you won't know what we're talking about. But when you
No.
do, you'll know.
And it might sound funny, but don't judge quite yet because once you get there, you're going to know exactly what we're talking about.
Percent. Now, now let's see here. Now we're going to do like this is a little speed round. I'm going to answer some of the things for me and then we'll do yours. Now, my last book hangover, I do have a thing of it though. This, if you have not read this series, it is absolutely amazing. Fourth book comes out in November. This is the Legacy series. And the first one is A Reign of Shadows and Endings. Absolutely phenomenal. I read it, books one, two, and three. The way book three, it's at a you don't know what's going to happen kind of thing. And the male main character in there is Theon. That's all I can say. Oh
Okay.
my
And
God.
is the Legacy series pop up when we talk about tropes? Or can you think of some that you could tell me are in that book or that series?
That one there, it's forced proximity. It is definitely an
Okay.
enemies to lovers kind of deal.
Okay.
The what's happening in there, the female main character, she's drawn into a world that she does not want to be in. She doesn't want the life that she has now become in this
Okay.
stuff that's happening. And but Theon's her main guy, but there's also another guy named Luca that's in it. So it's kind of a love triangle kind of thing happening as
Okay.
well. But oh, it's so good. But
I'm
but
excited.
and she's forced that she has to be with him. So it's a
Okay.
forced proximity. And she's not there for it a whole lot. But now if this man came to me and put diamond necklace around me and said I had to be what she is in the book,
Mm-hmm.
I would be there. I'd be fine. I don't know why
You
she's fighting it.
volunteer.
Yeah. I don't know why
Rebecca
she's fighting it.
volunteers as tribute.
Oh, definitely. But I don't know. I'm like, why are you fighting this? Girl, why are you fighting it? But she does. I wouldn't be. I'd be perfectly content with it. But that but that's my last book hangover. I don't really get a lot of book hangovers, but that one definitely got me. Um, how about you?
Last book hangover was The Casanova by T.L. Swan. It's a contemporary billionaire romance. Love that book. I still think about it daily.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Now, now for me, now instant buy authors. Now I will always buy anything that Sarah J. Maas writes. Is it Mass or Moss?
Well, now that you're questioning it, I don't know. I've always said mass.
I think it's
I like
Mass.
massovers, so I don't know.
I don't know. I will buy anything that Kelly Hart writes, anything that Raven Kennedy writes. Also Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake does a lot more of your gothic, dark romances. Um, I can't recommend her enough because she absolutely amazing. She has a new book coming out next month in September on the 9th. It's Eldridge. It is the second book to Anathema. If you
Okay.
have not read it, please go on Amazon or wherever you buy your books where you can find them and get it.
Okay.
This is Anathema.
And then question about hers because I just put that in my Barnes and Noble cart along with Nocticadia. Is is Nocticadia a duet or is
No,
it by itself?
Nocticadia is a standalone.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it will not have, to my knowledge, it doesn't have any other
Okay.
books that go with it. But
Okay.
now, well, I say anathema. Some people say
Hmm.
anathema.
Okay.
So, whichever way you pronounce it, that is
Take
part
our
of the,
pronunciations with a grain of salt. They're not always going to be
well,
correct.
they'll never be correct ever, but people will guess. We'll, we'll,
Yeah.
we'll put a list of any of the books that we talk about. We'll link them so that you can see, or we'll write them down so you know what we're talking about. But, but anathema is in the Eating Woods or trilogy. I believe she said it's going to be 3 books. But Eldridge comes out in September, and I am so excited. But like I said, this is very dark. It kind of has like a puritanical kind of vibe, like where she's at, and then she meets this man named Zavander, which again, this man's top tier. Wait till you meet him. He's very dark, broody. He's my perfect villain. Um, but now we're going on to the second book of it, and I think it's going to be very good. But like again, Carrie Lake knocks it out of the park every time. All right. Now the other thing is, what are you currently reading?
So my current read is I have it right here. Summer Seduction.
Oh, that's a
Pull it
pretty
back a little.
cover.
Yes, by C.L. Breyer. Well, now that we're talking about the cover, let's go into this a little bit, shall we?
Okay. Oh,
Look at
see, that's
this.
gorgeous.
But look at
Oh,
that.
look at the foiling. That's
Yeah,
a pretty book. I
it
love a
is
pretty book.
gorgeous. And then all throughout, I mean, I love the edges too. Got the
See,
moons and then all throughout though, there's like flowers on the wait, she deserves this. This author deserves the limelight for a second here. Look at her chapter pages.
oh, see, that's a beautiful book. Are they
So
all
pretty.
colorful like that through the whole thing?
Yes. Through the whole
Oh,
thing.
see,
Like
that's
not every
beautiful.
page, but every chapter.
See, that's
Beginning of every
pretty.
chapter is like that.
I
Yeah.
like that.
I'm
See, that
obsessed.
that is what I like when it's a book. It besides, the little blib you get of what it is or the tropes
Hmm.
that are involved in it. I like a beautiful cover on a book. Now,
Yeah.
myself, most of my books are paperback because I like the feel of a paperback. I do
Hmm.
have a few hardbacks, but I like that. But I love a beautiful book. I don't like when they're very contemporary. And what is the one thing that we do not like on our books? You know
Sorry,
what I'm
I can't
talking
stop
about.
laughing. I know. We don't like couples or pictures of people on the front of our books. For example,
But like real,
Fabio.
yes, Fabio. But like real people kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now Fabio, if you guys don't know who Fabio is, he was a model back in the 80s, 90s that did book cover art. They did his pictures.
Romance.
Oh yeah, the
Hmm.
romance. And another place that you may remember him from is for a long time he did a commercial for I can't believe it's Fabio. And I was thinking about Fabio because, and like I said to you, I've decided that Fabio is our unofficial mascot because
Yes.
he's everything that what we think. But you know who
Listen, he walked so that romance could run.
there you go. But you know who he reminds me of though? When you look at him, he makes me think of Tamlin.
Yeah.
He's kind of got
Tarzan a little bit too. A little bit Tarzan, a little bit Tamlin.
he's kind of got that twist. But now in a book, now this I don't mind. Now if any of you have read Quicksilver, now I love this cover and I love Kingfisher on the front of it. Now see this I don't mind. I just the real like ripped shirt, I don't know. If you look
Yeah.
up the 80s 90s romance, that's the ones that give me the that's not my thing. I like pretty.
Yeah. Which it's like I love don't get me wrong. I love a good ab picture and,
Well, yeah.
hot romance couple, but I just adore like the artists that will actually take the description from the book to create the art, and those covers are beautiful. Or the in the end pages. I love when they
Yes.
do that. Yeah.
Some of the books are absolutely beautiful. Now the book that I'm currently reading, and now I like the cover of it, is I'm reading Nocticadia. I don't know if you haven't read Nocticadia yet.
Not yet, but it's on my I put that special edition with the pages.
See it
That's
there.
in my Barnes and Noble cart.
This one
Yeah.
here, if you can see the artwork, I'll just bring it up. So for anybody that's on our
Beautiful.
YouTube page, you can see it. It's her books are always shiny too, by the way. But I don't know, I love the skull, the purple butterflies and stuff that are on it. I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty.
like the dark vibes of it, the gothicness of it, but it's very pretty. But now that book, wait till you meet Dr. Death. He's
When I
quite
saw
delicious.
Twisted Dreamlands Dr. Death,
Hmm.
that was an instant save to my little archives there so that I can look back on it because I am so excited to read that book and meet him.
One day, if you guys go out, go look for Twisted Dreamland on Instagram. She's our friend, and she's actually going to be one of my rotating besties, hopefully here on the podcast. She does absolutely amazing artwork. She takes, I swear, what I see, the same thing, or her and I have the same vision, and she creates these people and creates the characters and that, and she brings them to life, and it's absolutely wonderful. But Twisted Dreamland,
Incredible.
check her out.
Yes.
She is awesome. But oh yeah, she's done Dr. Death. She's done all the people of Akatar. Um,
Mhm.
Most of the books, I think pretty much every book that I've read, she has done the artwork for. And I've asked her to do a couple of them that I've read that she hasn't done. She did the Bargainer series for me
Yeah.
because I didn't see Desmond Flynn out there anywhere. And so she created him for me. But
I
she's
love that.
wonderful. But no,
I saw
I do
her
love that.
I saw her get a request, I think it was today, for her to do the Valkyrie in from Akatar. And that was a good one because she's done the
Was.
queens.
Yes,
So I'm excited because it looked like, well, she responded to it that was a good
that's a good
idea.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh, she has, like I said, she has like the perfect way of when she does it, she truly captures them and you really see them. Like when she created the queens, because there's only so many descriptions of the queens when you read Akatar, because there's six of them. And some of them it's like a little bit vague, but there's three of them that are the main queens, the ones that do stuff throughout the book. And she created them absolutely perfect because when you're reading it and you look at what she has, it really matches what you're reading. I just
Hmm.
like again, I love her. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's great.
So now our next little thing. I guess we probably should, explain to everybody, what they should expect from our little podcast here. Now, Chelsea will be rotating because I'm always here, but Chelsea she'll be on different episodes. Then my friend Heather, Twisted Dreamland there. Her name's Nem. She'll be on, and hopefully we have a couple others. And it'll be a rotation here and there through all my different friends and that. And I think it gives kind of a different perspective than just our perspective and just my perspective because we all like different things.
Hmm.
We're not a cookie cutter. We're not all just everybody's, not just romantasy necessarily like I am
Right.
because I'm in my villain era. So be prepared for that. That's what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
That's my thing. But
Yeah.
but our
So what made
podcast,
you, I was
hmm?
going to say, what made you start the podcast?
Well, I started, well, after we all met, like through Bookstagram and stuff, and we were all, already nonstop talking about it, I wanted to build a space, for us, so we could be unhinged, bookworms, who crave spice, friendship, and the freedom to be able to obsess over these fictional men without judgment. And I wanted to make a nice, fun place for all of us to hang out and talk about it, and then get feedback from other people that maybe we wouldn't necessarily reach just on our bookstagrams. And I thought this would be a great platform to be able to do it.
I love it. And people can expect chaos, cackles, and completely unfiltered opinions. Every episode will mix deep dives, author and book artist spotlights, spicy reviews, monthly TBR chaos, all the time chaos, indie self
Yes.
indie and self-published hidden gems, trope talk, character thirsting, and spoiler-filled chats about the books we can't stop screaming about.
Because I want to be able to, well, all of us, we want to be able to, if we have certain authors that we love, we want to talk about them. And then there's a lot of indie authors that don't necessarily get the spotlight. And if we love them, we'd love to have them on and talk to them and, and scream about their books too, because not everybody that, like, of the books that we read, they're not all traditional published yet. They are independent, they are publishing their own books. Because Anathema or Anathema, whichever how you want to pronounce it, that's just going traditional publishing. Up until this point, she's been indie. That's just also like Quicksilver. Callie Hart
Mm-hmm.
was independent, and
Yeah.
then now she's traditional publisher. But a lot of the books that that we love and that they are independent, and it's kind of really neat to be able to spread the word about how wonderful their books are. I like it. I don't know. I hope everybody enjoys it. I just, if you ever said I just need one more chapter at 3 a.m., this is a podcast for you. And I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you like it. But let us know in the comments how we're doing.
And again, be nice.
Yes, please be nice. All right. So I guess we'll go into what our actual episode is about. Let's explain what a trope is.
Good idea. A trope is basically a storytelling shortcut. It's a familiar pattern or theme that shows up again and again um, in different books, different authors. But that's what a trope is.
Well, exactly. Like enemies to lovers, to forced proximity. You kind of know what to expect, but the way it's done, that's where the magic is in the book.
Yes. And since we love and sometimes hate these tropes, this episode is all about which ones ruined us and which ones we can't get enough of.
Oh yes. This when I do a trope section, like I do Tuesday tropes on my Instagram, that is one of my best videos that I ever do. My reels, they get the best views, everything, and I actually probably get the most comments on those particular ones. So people are very interested in tropes.
Yeah.
It's tropes.
Um, I
I
would say
pronounce it troops sometimes.
I was always somebody that would just honestly pick up a book based on what the cover looked like and would never read what it's about. But I am starting to learn the more that I'm in Bookstagram how much I actually do now look for the tropes that are my favorites and how I stay away from the ones that give me the ick.
Oh, and there are some icks
There
out
are
there, but we
some.
will get into that in a moment. Now, these are my top favorite tropes. Now, these are my top three. Now, my favorite, it doesn't matter. Well, it seems like the majority of my books are this, but are enemies to lovers. I live for that. That is, the witty banter, the slow burn, that emotional tension. Um, it's it just gets into my soul, and I love it. Some of the books that I've read that have that are The Serpent and the Wings of Night. That is book one in The Crowns of Nyaxis. If you haven't read that series, again, The Plated Prisoner. That's the Raven Kennedy series. Absolutely. Akatar does that. And also the Legends of Thesmar. If you've read that, that is definitely true enemies to lovers in that one. I like One Bed, Forced Proximity. That, the accidental touching, the lingering looks, that emotional intimacy that they have. Akatar has it, the Legacy series. I think you're seeing a pattern with me. Another one is The Four Horsemen by Laura Thalassa. That one, there's a lot of forced proximity in that series. And then, of course, my other number one is Morally Gray Men. I I can't have a cinnamon roll man. He has to be dark. he has to be broody. Most of them they're fiercely loyal. They're often violent in my books. They're not sweet.
Just a little
But
bit,
but
maybe.
I love them. But we love them for it. But like in Anathema, it's that in Quicksilver, if you get to meet Kingfisher, he is definitely not a cinnamon roll. In the Legacy series is another one. Definitely they're not cinnamon roll type guys. All right, what are your top three?
So this is one that I forgot about somehow, and our friend Zephyr Moonchild, right?
Yes.
Is her full well, yeah. So she helped remind me when I posted asking about people's favorite tropes. Fated mates. I absolutely live for them. And we could also say that's like a soulmate thing for anybody that doesn't
Yes.
understand the mate part, which is in a lot of fantasy books. So Quicksilver has it, Akatar, Plated Prisoner. I want to say Plated Prisoner, but we don't really know until
Because
it's kind of more of like a soulmate thing, I would want to say, because of, I don't want to spoil, but with the
well,
end, the big
well, he
reveal.
knows. He knows though. He can feel her
Yes, yes.
because he
And there's a
because
different
he
name that they use there for their
oh, that
fated mates.
because I believe when you get to meet this man, he said he could tell and feel her. She was like a beacon, and
That's
that
right. Yes,
so
that's right.
it was like their souls were getting pulled to each other.
I'm getting
Oh,
goosebumps just
it's
thinking about
oh,
it.
again, Plated Prisoner. If you have not read it, read
You
it. It is
must, you
amazing.
must. And we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about that again in a second because we have more
Mm-hmm.
to talk about with Plated
Oh yes.
Prisoner.
Oh yeah.
More fated mates. We've got Throne of Glass, Crescent City. And then if we want to go soulmate, since I talked about my book Hangover, The Casanova, which is a contemporary romance, the soulmate thing in there, I don't know, trope. It's so beautifully done. I was like obsessed. The ending just blew my mind. Um, and then my second, it would be Enemies to Lovers, which you beautifully explained. So I'll just add Fourth Wing has it. There is actually the romance novel that I narrated, Love Me Not. There's some Enemies to Lovers there. I love small town big drama. So contemporary small town, like the Knock 'em Out series by I forget. I forget who wrote it. Bailey Brothers series, which is by Claire Kingsley. She's an independent author. And then my last, I swear I'm finishing up. Third act breakups. I thought I hated those, but I love a good third act breakup. You get through you're obviously a third through the book, and there's a breakup. There's some kind of thing where, as an example, oh, she's too good for me. I'm gonna leave her. And that comes before the big, and then they have the big reunion, and it's wonderful, and we get our happy ending. Examples of those are the Miles High Club series by T.L. Swan, and again, Love Me Not by Shayna Astor.
Now let me ask you this: when
Hmm.
you're doing a third, act breakup, now, do you prefer it in the actual, just like happening in the book, or do you like it when it happens over a series?
Oh,
Because like now, when you read the Legends of Thesmar, that is
hmm,
definitely in it, but it happens throughout the series,
yeah.
so those moments happen. So you might
As
be left at a
long,
cliffhanger kind of deal.
yeah, as long as the series is completed and I'm not having to wait for it, because Fourth Wing's kind of having, it's not a breakup, but it's like a separation.
Hmm. See,
And
I
it's kind
haven't
of with
read that
Plated
series.
Prisoners. Okay. And then Plated Prisoners also has that like separation point where
Yes.
it's not really a breakup though. But yeah, those are the ones that like grab at your heartstrings and your heart's constricting and you feel like your heart is breaking. I just love that feeling when people
And
can deliver that, when authors deliver it. Yeah.
when it's done right.
Yes.
Because,
It's got to be done right.
there are some that are, they'll have that and then it makes no sense. But there are the
Yeah.
ones that, and it's that emotional pull. That tells
Yes.
you that it's a good book when you have those kind of feels. I know when I have a good book is if it makes me cry. And I'm
Yeah.
not a crier. Like some people are like, they'll cry at everything. There are several books and I've gotten to the end of them and things have happened like
Hmm.
well in the Plated Prisoner series the last book there's a moment and something happened, it made me cry.
Makes you
um
cry, makes you want to throw the book across the room.
and then oh absolutely, and then in in which one is it? Oh, in Blood and Steel, or in the Legends of Thesmar, not in Blood and Steel, that's the first book. But when you get to the last book in the series, there's a moment of something that happens, and it's what happens, it has to happen. And that one, it made me cry. And I'm like, these are fictional people. These people, they're not real, but
Yeah.
you have that emotional connection with them.
Yeah.
And when you have that kind of moment, then the author, they did their job. You got invested in it all the way that it takes you through that roller coaster of emotion. And
Mm-hmm. Love it. Live for it.
oh yeah, because if you don't have that and you're just reading something and you don't feel something for it, it's a book that you'll forget. But the ones that they seep into your bones and the things that happen in it, they stay with you long after you close that book. I always think like anathema, whatever how you want to pronounce it. That one there, that's why I'm so excited for book 2 in September. That one seeped into my bones because it is such an absolute amazing story, and she writes so beautifully.
Right.
So
And that's what
that's
makes a
yep.
huge difference between, so like for me, if I were to read I read Nicholas Sparks all
Yes.
like my teens into my young adult years. And while I very much enjoyed those books, I could not recall what book says what unless it was like just really so good. So while I enjoyed them, they didn't stick with me. Whereas like Akatar and the Plated Prisoner series, I mean, it's like there's no way I could forget any of it because it was so profound
Oh yeah.
and
Now, well,
so
let me ask
good.
you this. Now, I never read The Notebook, the actual book, but I did watch the movie. I cry every time I watch that movie.
Yeah, it's very,
That one gets me.
very good. That one and A Walk to Remember.
Have you ever watched P.S. I Love You?
I sob, ugly cry,
Yes.
sob. Yeah,
That
yes.
one there, I remember this was years ago because I had it on DVD. I'm old. I have DVDs. I don't know how many people buy DVDs now, but I had DVDs and I had it on there and I was watching it. My husband was at work and Dominic, my oldest, he was just little and I was watching it. And I'm just like ugly crying because if you watch the movie, you just ugly cry
Yes.
through the whole thing. And I remember my husband's grandpa came to our door and he's like, "What is wrong?" I'm like, "I was just
Oh,
watching a movie." I said, just ignore that I'm crying like some crazy person. But yeah, that's an excellent movie.
hmm
But it's the feels. And if a
yes,
book can do that to me in that same thing,
yes,
I'm sold.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's the things that, make us happy. Those are the things we love. Now, there's different tropes out there that give us the ick.
hmm And if
And
you like them, we're
yeah,
not going to yuck your yum, but they
we're not.
are yuck for us. They're just ick for us.
Because that's again, reading is a broad spectrum. Everybody, has their preferences and their choices, and there are things that, some people that, things that we love give them the ick. But
hmm
these are the things that give us the ick. For
Yes.
me, I do not like a bully romance. Now, I say this talking because it's a little bit happening in the Legacy series, but it's a different kind of thing. It's
Okay.
different. But the bully romance that I do not like is from Zodiac Academy. I tried that book. Now, I know there's a lot of you out there that absolutely love it. Again, I'm not going to yuck your yum, but I don't like it. I don't like that bully romance in that series. I can't read it. I tried, and I've got to like chapter 8 in it, and I just couldn't do it. And the other thing, and it comes from that series as well, I don't like the too on the nose naming um, kind of thing. I don't like because the professor that does the fire in that book, she's Professor Pyro. Why can't we come up with a better name?
Yeah.
Or just, like Esmeralda or, Professor, I don't know, even Fancy Pants. I don't know. But
Something
I'm
like
saying something,
pick a different language. I don't know, maybe because maybe pyro comes from Latin or who knows what, but
yeah,
maybe pick a different language and use that to turn it into a name. But
yeah.
pyro's just a
That's,
little too,
I just don't like that.
yeah.
Because I
And then
think,
you have to explain for me too a little bit more of both of them because I haven't read anything like that. So bully romance for people like me who haven't read any or tried to read any, what does that mean?
now if you, well, what a bully romance basically is, it's when a love interest is the aggressor and the other person, the character in the book is the victim. but their dynamic eventually evolves into a romantic relationship. And it's
So
just
they're
such an ick.
mean. They're
Oh,
mean
very
to
mean.
their okay.
Very mean. Like, I know when at the beginning of Zodiac, they were very mean to because it's two sisters, they're twins, and they make the one, she walks through, I think it's like fire or something, and it burns off all her clothes and then she's naked. It's very like humiliating,
Hmm.
bullying. And I don't know, I just didn't like it. It was just too mean. I don't know,
Yeah.
they're mean in my other books. I like my villains. They're mean, but it's a different kind of mean.
Right.
Because, again, we can go back to Plated Prisoner.
Hmm.
He said that, he'll be the villain for her, but not to her.
To her. Yeah.
Again, no one knows if you haven't read it, you'll know what it is when you get there.
And because he's not really bullying, what he's more doing is like he's being stern or he's
Hmm.
doing things to not
To protect
humiliate
her.
her, but to, yes, but to like show her her own potential. So
Yes.
he's not like bullying her to humiliate her. It's more like, I'm going to be grumpy with you and stern because I know that you are so much more
Oh,
than what you
absolutely.
think you are. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then when I was reading in Zodiac, it's more, they're just very mean. I don't know. And I don't understand. I guess for me, I couldn't understand being with someone that was that cruel to me to end up with a relationship with them. So for me, I can't read something that I think is like that. And it's very, I don't know. I
Well,
just don't, I didn't care for it.
it feels abusive in a way,
Oh,
right? Like
yeah.
it's kind of, yeah. So that's a red flag.
Oh, definitely. That's a red flag that I don't like because
Yeah.
I do like a lot of red
Because we do
flags.
like some red flags, yes.
But that one
Yeah.
definitely is that. And there's multiple people in that because like if you get into Zodiac Academy, that is a massive universe of books because I believe it's like 7 or 9 books is actually Zodiac Academy, and then they have the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, which is 5 books, and then there's another one, and I can't think of what it is, but I think it's in a prison. It's something in their world. So, but it's just, I don't know, and that seems to be a theme in that. And it actually, because I did that, I don't want to read anything that they write either. Because the two sisters, they call them the Twisted
Yeah.
Sisters, and I've
Yeah.
had no interest in actually continuing or reading any other series that they do. I don't care for their writing either. But
Yeah.
that's not a trope. That's just my personal
Yes.
preference.
Yeah. But I
Have
can
you?
see that because I feel like there are the icks that then turn you off of certain authors.
Hmm. Oh,
So if
absolutely.
yeah. So we can segue into to
Well,
mine
what?
my icks.
Yes. What are your icks? Let's go into yours.
Um so mine is age gap. And I have to explain that I'm not talking about fantasy age gaps where, they've waited 500 years to meet their
Yes.
mate. That kind of thing is not what I'm talking about. It's more the contemporary, um, my dad's best friend who I'm falling in love with. And that's just kind of ick to me. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to pick up a book where it's an older man on the cover and the young girl is like 20 and he's 50.
It's kind of
Or
the it's kind of like the Leonardo DiCaprio kind of thing.
yes,
Just
they
he
stay
gives
the
me the
same
ick.
age and he gets older somehow.
He gives me the ick. I
He does.
loved
He gives me the ick
Leonardo.
too.
I loved him way
Titanic,
back. Oh
I
yeah,
was obsessed with him.
sure of it.
I have a Titanic Heart of the Ocean
Isn't that
toy box
fancy?
that my grandma and grandpa got me when I was younger, and I will never get rid of it because it's just like a cute memory to me. But
Yeah,
yeah, it has pictures from the movie of Rose and Jack on it. So I loved him at one
I love that
point,
movie.
but the
That
man is a
I
creep.
Now see the year that came out. I believe it was the top movie. I think it was of 1998 because that's the year I graduated high school. And I believe it was in my yearbook that was the #1 movie that year. I loved it. I mean, it is such a good story. But then, all right, now I'm going to ask you the opinion though, since we're talking Titanic. Do you think that Jack could have fit on that piece of wood with Rose?
100% yes. If he was going to not fit, they should have used a smaller door or whatever the heck it was that she was on, because I'm pretty sure it was like a door.
Oh, it was like
Give
a
me a
massive
break.
door.
And it was so like,
It would have floated. It's in
yeah,
the ocean. It's salt water. Things float.
it was of all the like wonderful things that they did with the cinematography of that
Yes.
movie, they messed that one up.
And I don't
That
understand it.
was no good. Yeah.
God, that was
Nope.
such a good movie. That was, but that I never understood that. There was something you'll have to look. I'll have to see if I can find it too. They redid because in today's day and age they could do AI kind of thing. They redid it and I laughed so hard because they had them both on the piece of wood and then it's the older when she's the older lady talking.
Right.
And now, I mean, this movie's been out for 4 million years, so if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry that I'm ruining this moment there. And but she goes, and we lived a wonderful life. We got together, we went to New York, and we were planning a big and beautiful wedding. And then he left me for someone younger because if you know Leonardo DiCaprio, that scene,
That's hilarious.
that's his MO. Because what did they say? If a girl she
She
goes over
married.
26, I think that's what it
Yeah.
is. And then
Then she's
he,
out.
yeah,
Yeah. He
and
takes them
he's in
during
his
their prime
50s.
years. Yeah.
He's in his 50s.
And he's not in his prime. I'm sorry. He's got like the
No,
soft dad bod. You're not, you had a cute face back in the day, but the body doesn't match.
no.
Mm-mm.
I always
Do
think of
better, models. You can do better.
I understand he has a lot of money because, of course, he probably has a nice bank account.
Yes, I'm
But
sure.
just because he has a nice bank account doesn't mean that that's the one ladies you should go for. Then again, I was saying in the book, the Legacy series, he could put diamonds all over me. But, I don't know.
But
I don't
but
know.
he's
But
got
Leonardo, he
abs.
gives oh, that's true. He does. He does have that in that one. But Leonardo, I don't know. Something happened there to him. But he does that. But a lot of men in Hollywood do this. They'll have their girlfriends or their wives or whatever, and then they get to a certain point that they don't think they need them anymore. But the one, and we will forever protect this man, is Keanu Reeves. He has his girlfriend there because I don't think they got married. I think it's just his girlfriend, and she's age appropriate and everything. Now him, beautiful.
Yeah.
He would not be one of our icks.
No.
Keanu
Mm-mm.
Reeves, we protect him forever.
Yeah.
He's a precious treasure. Leonardo, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's
Leonardo,
a
I'd like to have memory loss over you, and that goes into my next ick.
yes.
Memory loss. It's meh for me. I will read the book. I'll still pick it up. My example is an unfinished series. The first book is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I should have brought that one in here with me. Um, but there is that element in there. The Plated Prisoner has an element of memory loss also. It's where magic or some type of trauma has happened to make these characters have memory loss. And I just have to hope because with the Plated Prisoner series, I don't want to spoil, but at least we got our happy ending.
Yeah.
When the moon hatched, I better get the happy ending or I will throw things.
Are you going to buy book 2 when it comes out in October?
Yes. That's another one that I'm wondering if I should buy it with my Barnes and Noble because I have like their little card where I get 10% off, or if I should wait to see if like the ink pages or the bookish box is going to do a special edition because
Oh.
I think this series is going to be pretty huge.
The well the book there when the moon hatched, that book itself is absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I
It's
don't own
beautiful.
that one yet. I
I
have it on my TBR. I
mhm.
have my list is gigantic, as you know, and your list is gigantic, but that one is definitely on there. But that's a beautiful everybody that I've talked to when they talk about that particular book, they always say it's very beautifully written,
It
but some
is.
people have a harder time reading it.
Yeah. And I
But
will say, like, she has the glossary and the pronunciations. But there is enough of it that she also doesn't include in there. So I found myself getting a little bit frustrated with that because it was like, okay, so some of it is, but then I'm like looking for certain terms that aren't in there. And then that frustrated me because I'm like, okay, well, I guess I just have to make up what this means because she makes it seem like you should know,
oh,
if that
well,
makes
that's
sense.
interesting. I
Like,
understand
there's
what
not
you're saying.
enough. Yeah, there's not enough of an explanation
And
that
it
goes
doesn't
along
give
with
a
it.
context of what it is.
Right. Not
Well, see
enough of
that?
one. Yeah.
Oh, well, see
Yeah.
that makes it hard. So that I
Yeah.
guess I understand why people say what they say. But
It's
again, a
we're
lot of
kind of
people
on the
love it.
fence about it. Yeah. A great story. I'm so excited for the next one, for
I
sure.
I love her video that they showed because her husband goes with her when she does her book signing, and
Yeah.
he stamps the thing for where she signs, and he blows on it for it to dry, and it's so sweet. She has a very
Precious.
sweet husband.
I love
See,
it.
he's one of those ones that, he'd be like Keanu Reeves. We'll keep him as a treasure as
Yeah,
well.
we're gonna protect him.
No, I think of my husband. Now, if I had this and I was a fancy author and he would go with me and he would do that kind of stuff. He probably would
Yeah,
have no idea what I had wrote,
yeah,
but he would be there to do that kind of thing for me.
yeah.
Would your
That's funny.
husband?
Absolutely. So before I started the like Bookstagram and narrating journey, before that I was doing like epoxy tumblers, rhinestone tumblers. And the funny thing is like he would always be, we called it, so it's Junebug Janes was my old account for it. I don't really do much with it anymore. But I would call him Junebug Jim. His name is Cameron, but I would say Junebug Jim because he would help me with my like shipping. He would help,
Oh,
watch the kids so that I can get stuff done. Like he just, anything that I ever need, he's like, go ahead, go do it.
well,
So,
see, this is the thing about our husbands. Both of them, they support what we're
yes,
doing. They have no idea what we're doing, but they do support it. We do have good husbands that way. Mine, he might not have any idea of what I've read, and even though I want to talk to him about it, and he still has no idea. He's like, "Why are you telling me this? I will not remember, and I don't know what you're talking about." And
I
I said,
cannot
"I don't."
relate at all.
And I was telling him, "I don't care. Just listen to me." But yet he did buy me for my birthday 2 weeks ago. He bought me 21 more books for my bookshelf.
Gotta love him for it.
I know and he
It's
told me
awesome.
last night, he's like, "Are you ready to order some more books?" He was asking me last night. And I said to him, he's like, "Well, do you have ones that you want to order?" I said, "Well, of course I always have books I want to order." So I'm going to get a couple more. I have a couple more I want to add because even if I haven't read them yet, because I like to have a physical TBR besides having my digital one
Hmm.
of my giant list. I like
Yes.
to look at my books.
Yeah.
I like because they're like my little trophy.
Yeah. And the problem is too with some books is that they'll come out with these special or limited editions because I'm a sucker for those. And I know I don't have time to read them yet, but I have to
Yeah.
grab them while they're there. So like
Oh yeah,
I've
because
got,
they'll be gone.
yeah, I've got
And
Lightlark, Shield of Sparrows. I don't know, there's a couple other ones, but I bought them because I saw those pretty edges and they're just going to sit there
oh
until I
yeah.
have a chance to read them.
Now our one friend that's in our because I have a book engagement group and Chelsea's in, and I this is how I have all kinds of wonderful friends in there. Our one friend, Cassandra.
Yes.
She has the most beautiful library,
The
and she
most
has
beautiful.
and she has all sprayed edges, and it is gorgeous. And
Her
I just
collection is like to die for. I wish I had all of those. It's
well,
amazing.
I asked her how many books does she think she has, and she knows she's over 1,000 because you have to be considered a library.
Wow.
You have to have 1,000 books. Then you're
Wow.
considered a library, and so she has that. And
She's got the library.
when she shows her bookcases, I'm just like, oh. And she's building more bookshelves. She told me she's having them done. I think they're going to go on the other side of her room, and it's going to be a little different color the shelves. And I just can't wait
Yeah.
to see what
Oh
she
yeah, she's
does.
got the ladder and everything. It's like the Beauty and the Beast dream. I
Oh
love
yeah,
it.
and she has that nice big window that's right there for the perfect natural light coming in.
Yeah.
That's my dream. One day,
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't have room. I only have a corner where I have my desk, and then I have my bookcase, and that's all the room I have.
Yeah. So we're gonna
Because
need a lot of people to subscribe to our to
yes,
our
help
podcast so we can get our libraries.
have our dream come true. Because that is the dream. I want to have a room all to myself that's just my library that I can go in there and it's quiet. Anybody who has children, we love our children. We love them with
Hmm.
all of our hearts, but sometimes we need quiet.
Yes.
And I would love to have that, or even from our husbands, some quiet. Mine, he doesn't understand. Like he'll be playing his game or he'll be doing it, and he's like, "Why aren't you reading right now?" I said, "There's too much noise
Hmm.
happening in the house." And it's not
Yeah.
that they're being loud or any, it's just, it's too much. I like to read when it's silent, like the grave in the house is what I like. And then I can read and then I can fully immerse myself into those worlds. He doesn't understand.
I'd like to know what scientific reasoning it is that we are so much more overstimulated than our male
Hmm.
counterparts. Because I swear I'm the same way. Like my husband could be playing music all the time, and I'm like, can we just, the TV could be going, the kids could be playing games, and I'm like, I need
It's
at
too
least
much.
like, yeah, like 3/4 of these things need to be shut off because I can't handle it.
I think we get overstimulated. I think, well, men can focus very much on one task. My mind is going with 14 different things, and my husband, what is that the one person said? Their mind is like it's like having a browser open with 25 pages open. One is stuck on music and you can't close them. That's kind of like what my mind is like, you
Yeah.
know, because I don't, it's not that my husband's not doing a lot of things because he's wonderful and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we think a lot more things at the same time than they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. And like they can block stuff out maybe more.
Yeah.
I
I
can't.
could see that. Me either.
I can't do that. I
Yeah.
notice I do stuff. This is where I probably do have ADHD, because I probably do, because I'll notice like I start something and then while I'm doing that, I'll see something else and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
start messing with that. But
Mm-hmm.
then I'll see something else and then I'll start messing with it and then I'll realize that I didn't do the original thing. And I
Right.
think I do that. And I
Yeah.
think that's what happens when I'm reading. Because if I'm trying to read and I'm trying, to focus on it, and then they start talking to me, or I hear other sounds, and I think it's kind of the same thing
Yeah.
that I start doing.
Yeah.
Do you have that problem, or can
Oh,
you read in the
absolutely.
chaos?
Oh no, I say I'm undiagnosed ADHD too. And
Mm,
also, yeah, I would prefer it to be more quiet because I'll have even this morning I sat to read for a little bit and my son came up and sat right next to me and he had a little video going and I'm like I couldn't focus. I probably reread the same sentence over and
yes.
over and over again. So,
And they
I
don't
like
seem
it.
to understand either when we tell them
No,
these
they don't.
things.
Yeah,
Mm-mm,
no.
mm-mm. Like,
Yeah.
well, that's just like if you go to the same thing now with our own kids. Like if we're like I'm doing something now, this is, as you can see, this is my room, my bedroom. My husband sleeps on this side of the bed. I'm on the other side towards where the window is. I could be in the middle of doing something or reading. My kids will come over to me to get whatever they need. And he's right there. It's not that he wouldn't do anything. It's not that. But for some reason they come to me and not
Yeah.
to him. And I'm like, your dad's right there.
Yeah. That
You
happens.
have to bother me right this second. Because my kids
Yep.
are getting bigger. I don't have
Yeah.
itty bitties. Mine are getting big. But
Yeah.
still. But do yours do the same thing?
Oh, absolutely. And there have been times where I'll look at my husband, I'll be like, can you offer to do this, please? Because I'm clearly trying to do something right now. I'll even do it. I was back when I was doing a lot of my epoxy tumblers. I would literally be out there with my gloves on doing the epoxy, and the kids would come and ask me for something. And I'm like, your father is inside. Can you, like, you literally came all the way out here to find me in the middle of me doing this. You see that I'm busy, and you still
Yeah.
came and asked me. Yeah.
Mine do that. Now, my older one, no, I can't even say that. He still does that kind of stuff too. And now last night, yeah, I'm like just watching TV, and then they come and they ask me different things. And I don't watch TV that often, but it seems like when I'm watching TV, just the same as if I'm reading, that's when they need things more than any time. And I might not see them for like an hour or two prior to that
Yeah.
because they're busy with
Yep.
their games. But then they're like, oh no, wait, mom is
She's
being
resting
quiet.
now. Yeah.
She's resting. Now is the time to find her. And
Yeah.
again, they don't say anything to my husband. He'll be sitting there and they don't ask him anything. I
Love
give up.
him. Yeah.
I love I love them all. But this is why I want to have my room. So now, like Chelsea said, help us so that we can have our library that we can hide from our family.
Yes. And what was I gonna say? Oh, I had one more. I have
Oh
one
yes,
more
what is your
ick.
other one?
My
Okay.
last ick is multiple POVs or point of views.
Okay.
Not to be confused with dual or duet point of views. And what I mean by that is like a lot of contemporary romance they'll have, or even actually I've seen it in fantasy ones too,
Hmm.
where it'll be like the male character will speak and then the female, and
Yes.
the story continues that way. Love those. Can't get enough of those.
Yes.
Um, I am talking about like side quest characters. So the Throne of Glass series, there are two books in the middle or towards the end, Tower of Dawn, and I forget. We went over this the last time we were talking about it. Let me find it real quick. But so there are characters that are getting like these little side quests or side stories away from the main characters. And it drives me crazy because I just want to know what's happening with our main characters. I don't want to know what side quests are going on.
Now
And if you
see,
can expound on that for me, because Play to Prisoner has it. So please talk about
now
that while I'm
now
looking this
Play to
up.
Prisoner, when you're going through that series and that, you're following, of course, do you pronounce her name Arin? Is that how you pronounce her name?
I think, yeah, we've talked about that. Orin or Arin. I think Arin sounds better. Yeah.
Arin? We're gonna go with that. Because
Hmm.
again, remember, we don't pronounce anything correctly here, so it's probably
Right.
wrong. Um, but you'll bounce between her and different people throughout the book series and that. And they'll have like one of the girls that she doesn't like, she talks in it. When you get to the you meet the guy that, is the god tier, book boyfriend. But there's some of the people that are in his posse, we'll just call them. They do have point of views, and you go back and forth with all of them. Now, of course, she does list who they are, but it's a lot of
Yeah.
points of view.
Yeah. And
Um,
I would say I don't hate, I didn't hate that. Um,
but it wasn't a lot, though.
right. She didn't
It
overdo
wasn't,
it.
no, it was here and there. And then if you go into the Akatar series, um, throughout pretty much the entire thing, you're just following Feyre. A little bit of her love interest, I think, because I think he has a chap, or he talks a little bit, doesn't
I
he?
think
I
he
think.
does.
And
Yeah.
then there's the novella that's in there, and that's when it completely changes. And this is where people get their a bee in their bonnet a lot of times, because one, they don't like the novella, mind you. I love the novella. I like the little Christmas special, but that is the moment when she changes how she's writing, and it goes to a lot of different points of view. And then people seem to have gotten very upset by that. But most, I don't know. For me, it doesn't bother me as much. But
Yeah.
I guess if it's just too many, if it's too
Yes.
many people and it's too many storylines that you have to keep track of,
Yeah.
that's where the
So,
problem lies. So I
and
understand what you're saying.
yeah, and I think Sarah J. Maas did a great job in the ACOTAR series, the way she did it. Like I love how she did it. What I'm talking about with Throne of Glass is, and I found the books, it's
Oh,
Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. They can be read as a tandem.
okay, that's the two you told me to do as a tandem.
Yes. And I wish I would have read it that way. So for people that haven't read Throne of Glass, there are two, three, let me see. How many books? I forget how many I said, 7 or 8.
7 or 8, I believe. It's a big
So
series.
I would say go to Sarah J. Mass's website or Instagram, find the reading order, but do the Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn tandem, because I wanna try to just say this the right way. Like ACOTAR, we were kind of done with our main characters' stories by the time we got
Yes.
to Nesta and Cassian.
Yes.
So that makes sense that we're segueing into new characters, because now the story's continuing and we're getting, like theirs was kind of tied up really nicely in a little bow.
Yes, I agree
Um,
with that one. Yes.
Throne of Glass, you're following the same female character, and I don't like that a whole book went to two different characters that are on a side quest. A whole book, and then it comes back and they're all back together in the end.
Maybe that should have been considered more of a standalone kind of deal instead of being true in the series. Because now
Yeah,
when you read,
but it's
uh,
important. There's so much of it that's important that ties back into the story. So you
see,
almost
I haven't
can't.
read it. See, I
Yeah.
haven't read it. Now, if when you read the Legends of Thesmar, okay, now remember I told you if you read book 1 and 2, then there is a standalone, and then there's book 3 and 4. Okay. But now the standalone, do you have to read it? No. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it brings in characters that you're going to find in book 3 and 4, and it gives their backstory, if that makes
Okay.
sense. And
Yeah.
it is wonderful. Now, me, I love slaying the Shadow Prince. I absolutely loved it because then I understood who he is. And so when he does appear in book 3 and 4, even though there's mentions of him in book 1 and 2, but you don't really exactly know a lot about him, you just know the myth of the legend of the man. At least you get a backstory of what happened to him and why he disappeared. You
Okay.
understand. So I highly suggest that when somebody reads the Legends of Thesmar, read book one and
Hmm.
two, then that, then that. But you're going back and forth in different points of view in that
Okay.
series as well, but you're going between Thea and you're going between Wilder Hawthorne.
Hmm.
Wilder Hawthorne, he's another wonderful book boyfriend, by the way.
Yeah. See, and I can jump on board if it's like they're very likable characters
Hmm.
too. The problem with Throne of Glass is that the male that is kind of getting his whole own side quest with another female, it's hard to explain without spoiling, but at that point, there are a lot of people that are not happy with him. And so reading his whole book, it's kind of like for me personally, I didn't hate him. Like a lot of people really dislike him. I didn't hate him. So I was glad to see like his little character arc and his little journey. But that was a big complaint, is that it was like a whole boring book for people that didn't like him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I I don't know. I think it would get really complicated if you have a lot of people. Didn't they say that with uh
Fourth,
Fourth Wing,
Empyrean.
and
Hmm.
is it Fourth Wing and stuff? And then they say
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of people, a lot of like when the new book came out, there were a lot of people in it and it was
Yeah.
confusing to a lot of people.
Yes. And then, like, so to talk about that, you're only reading from, so Violet is our female main character,
Yeah.
and you get a couple of the male love interests. Like, you get a couple of insights into he gets a couple of POV chapters, or like bonus chapters that you get to read from his point of view. Now, in the third book, at the very end, you get a couple of chapters from different POVs, but they're main characters still. They're like,
Okay.
they're pretty prominent characters. What people were complaining about is that there were a lot of names that came up, like being part of their squad, I guess you would call them, or like their wing, because there's four different wings. There's first wing, second wing, third wing, fourth wing.
Okay.
Our characters are from the fourth wing claw section or whatever it is. Um, so they're mad that there's like new names. But then you get people that would say, if we only had the same 6 or 7 characters, that it's not realistic. This is a whole big college and we're only
Oh,
seeing that, so
well, that makes sense. See, I haven't read that series yet.
yeah.
I've just seen the random rumblings of people
Hmm.
because, as you know, in the world of book talk, people very much like to voice their opinions, and especially
Yeah.
if they dislike something, people
Yes.
do like to yuck people's yums.
Yeah.
That
And
is,
people can be very
yeah.
critical. It's like
Mm,
sometimes you can't do anything right. You were going to complain if they brought too many people in, and you were going to complain if they didn't bring enough people in. So if you don't like it, then just keep scrolling or just keep going. I don't know.
I find it very strange when now like now again, as I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of Zodiac Academy, but I don't go on people's pages or their posts and stuff where they're
Yes.
saying how much they love it and it's wonderful. I just don't say anything.
Right.
I'm not
You
gonna
don't
say
go there to
anything.
tear them down or tell them
Yeah,
you shouldn't like this because of this, this, and this. It's like, we're not going to do that. I'm
yeah,
glad you enjoy it.
and then like Twisted Dreamland, and then we have our friend that also Luna. They do a lot of artwork for Zodiac Academy. I always like on it and stuff. I have no idea who most of the people are because I've only read the part into the book and stuff. But I always support them with their artwork and stuff like that. But I'm not going to yuck their yum because everybody has different tastes. Just because I'm deep in my villain era, I don't expect you to be deep in it, even though I would like to bring you over to the dark side.
I do want to join you there.
It is very dark. It is very wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but no, I mean, I've in the books that I have read here, Nocticadia, I have to say is one of the darker books, but it's set in a modern time frame, but it's very dark and there's worms. Just gonna say there's
Ew.
worms. It's gross. But Blood and Steel. But now another book that's very dark and stuff that I love though is Phantasma. If you've have you read that one yet?
No,
See, I have to bring you to the dark side.
I know.
Where
And
are you?
that one has 2 books or just one?
That one there, now it's going to be a 4-book series, but 2 of the books are out.
Okay.
Phantasma and Enchantra, but they're not um they're almost like they're standalones, but they're entangled with each other, I guess is what I
Okay.
want to say. Because if you didn't read Phantasma first and you read Enchantra, you would be confused with certain parts. Because the first book in Phantasma, you were following Ophelia, and
Okay.
she is a necromancer. And she goes to this haunted mansion, basically, that is, it travels, it
Mm, that's
appears.
cool.
Oh, it's very cool. And it's set in New Orleans. And I think she said this is set around like 1906 is the time
Okay.
frame you're at. And basically, this place is it's a trials kind of thing, games and trials
Hmm.
that's run by devils.
Okay.
and Ophelia has a younger sister named Genevieve. Genevieve finds out some things with
Mhm.
what's going on with their family, and so she decides to go in and join this trials and games in Phantasma, and you basically can die in Phantasma. So Ophelia goes in to save her,
Okay.
and so you go through that whole thing,
Mhm.
and then the next book, you're actually following her sister Genevieve in another type of games of trial, but it's more like adult hide and seek with devils.
Okay.
It's so
Okay.
good. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
See
really
now
good.
this Summer Seduction that I'm reading,
Hmm.
it um this book is the second one technically, and I do wish so this one came in my under the cover book boxes
Oh, okay.
box for it was last month. And but it's the second book, and I do wish that I would have grabbed. She has one called Spring's Descent, and I guess that one has some of the world building. So I'm hoping that I'm not going to be too behind because that one's like the first one, I guess, is Hades and Persephone. This one is Morpheus and Larkspur.
Okay.
Um, and so I am getting like there are hints already so far that are talking about the last book. So I'm hoping
Mm,
that when I'm finished with it, I can read Spring's Descent and it feel like a prequel since I kind of messed
okay.
up and didn't read it first. I yeah,
See,
but
that's kind of like if you read Laura Thalassa has the Four Horsemen, you do not have to read them back to back to back because they are
okay.
their own story.
Yeah.
But if you don't read them in order, there's
Hmm.
mentions in like the other books of the
Yes.
other people. Like the first book is
Yeah.
Pestilence because it's the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Um, there's Pestilence. You follow the story with him with his love interest, then you go, the next one is War, and then
Okay.
they mention Pestilence in
Yeah.
War. So otherwise,
Yeah.
if you didn't read it in that order, they mention a few things that would be kind of like a spoiler kind of thing
Right. And that's
in
how
it.
this one
But yet
is so
they're
far.
separate.
Yeah, because she made mention that she did something, Larkspur did something to Persephone.
Mm,
And so now I'm feeling like that might spoil. I'm already going to know that that happens instead of coming up on it reading
coming
the
into
first time. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of like Laura Thalassa also did the Bewitched series. Now she has Bewitched and Bespelled, and then she just had a book come out in the beginning of July. It was The Curse That Binds, which is a
Yes.
prequel. But now, if you have not read that series, I still suggest you read Bewitched first, then Bespelled, then read The Curse That Binds, because the things that happen in The Curse That Binds is things that you find out throughout reading the other two books. And now I read The Curse that Binds, absolutely wonderful. I love her. Anything that she writes, I love. Very easy read, very beautiful world building kind of thing. I really love everything that she does. Um, but it's and I knew what was going to happen at the end of the book because
Hmm.
based on the others, you know what happens because you find out pieces of it in it. And I knew it, and that's another one, and it made me cry because I was so
Oh,
sad because that ending, the ending, because even though I have known the whole time I read the book, I know what was going to happen at the
yeah.
end, or a vagueness of it. I knew what was going to
Right.
happen. I still cried. It got
See?
me. It got me, and I was like,
Yeah.
damn it, it got me.
Yeah.
But it's just because of what they have going on. That's another
Hmm.
book boyfriend, Memnum.
Oh.
He's an
Okay.
ancient sorcerer, and he's very dark, and
Has
I love him.
has NM made him yet?
Oh yeah, she
Twisted
has made him.
Dreamland? Oh, okay. I'll have to look for
Mm-hmm.
him.
Oh yeah, she actually did art for The Curse That Binds
Cool. Okay.
because you follow Roxana in that one, and she has red hair, and you follow Celine in the other book. She has red hair, but you'll understand why and who they are. And then there's always Memnum. Oh God, wait till you meet Memnum. We have to go through my books that I have read
Hmm.
and get you a list so that you can read some of them because
Yes.
now one thing I have to say about the books I've read, everything, because I'm a researcher and stuff.
Hmm.
So before I buy a book, I look at what everybody has said. Um, because if people truly loved it kind of deal, I like to see what people say. Now, if I'm seeing a whole bunch of people saying they hate it, I'm
Hmm.
not going to read it. But
Yeah.
but everything I've read, I've absolutely loved. I have fallen in love with all the characters in all the books that I have read so far.
Yeah.
And so I don't think anything that I recommend to you will steer you wrong,
Yeah.
unless you just just don't like how they write, you know?
Right.
You don't like how
Which
the
I've
author
said,
writes.
I think, I mean, you've already got a good track record for me because Plated Prisoner was your first recommendation to me, and I ended up loving that series. So, I don't think you'd steer me wrong. Are you on Goodreads?
I am on Goodreads. I have
Okay.
a link if you go to my Instagram page, Azrella Reads. I do have a link in my up in my
Okay.
bio, so you can actually see my Goodreads because
Yeah.
I've been trying to transfer anytime I do a review. I've been putting
Uh-huh.
them on my Goodreads,
Oh, good.
and also if you go through my Instagram because I have a whole lot of reels and stuff, but I've been marking my actual reviews with a specific image and it
Okay.
says what book it is. It'll say Azrella Reviews, and then you can actually see my review. I try to do spoiler-free reviews, so don't worry when you look at my reviews. I just give you vagueness, but enough that you know if it's a good book. But everything
Okay.
I've read, I absolutely love. And I've been
Yeah.
like, they've knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I really haven't read anything it's since I've started this journey last because I only started reading again the end of last
Mm-hmm.
August, so it's been almost a year. And the beginning of October, it'll be a year that I've had my Instagram, my Bookstagram account.
Okay.
Um, but I haven't read anything that I would say is besides, for me, Zodiac, but everything else I've
Mm-hmm.
read, it's been five
Yeah.
stars, man.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Now, that's probably something else we should kind of just, touch on lightly there
Mm-hmm.
is when you read a book and then you do a review,
Mm-hmm.
how do you do your reviews? What do you judge? Do you do stars?
Yes.
Do you do half a star or anything like that? I do solid stars. I don't get into these 3.75s
Yeah.
or anything like that.
I will say, so I used to kind of do that, and I've kind of gotten away from that.
Hmm.
I do try to do like a 5 out of 5 rating system, or so out of 5 or 5 stars.
Yeah.
To me, I've never marked a book, so I've never not finished a book.
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever marked a book lower than like 2.5. To be 2.5, I would have to be like so bored and this book made me fall asleep because books don't do that to me. So it's just not, I'm not connecting if I'm falling asleep, and that's a 2.5 to me. 3 to like 3.5 is, it was good, but the writing style was like maybe a little choppy, or, I just kind of it didn't really flow enough for me.
Yeah.
3.5 to 4, it's like kind of the same, where it's like, okay, it was good. It kept me engaged, but maybe I didn't like the writing style. And then anywhere from like 4 to 5 is I really enjoyed it. And maybe there were just a few things that I didn't like that made me rate it lesser than 5.
Now, like for me, now 1 star, if I give a book a 1 star, which I never have yet, that's a hard pass. Didn't work for me. 2 stars, I'm struggling to finish it so far. I have, besides, the only book I've ever DNF'd has been Zodiac Academy, but I've never had a book that I've been struggling to finish. 3 stars, it's okay. It was enjoyable, but it didn't stick with me. Like it would be like something like if I didn't have memory of what I read, that kind of thing. Four
Mm-hmm.
stars, I loved it. I would recommend it. But 5 stars, that's when it blows my mind. My new obsession has been unlocked, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll never recover.
Yeah.
That's for me. And so everything I've read everything I've read for me has been 5 stars because they've uh they've just been wonderful. I
Yeah.
haven't had anything that I've been like, eh, maybe
I
I
will
would
say
recommend it.
your shelf is pretty much like, you do have a lot of the 5-star reads, so you pick very well,
Oh yeah,
I
see,
feel.
I don't do arcs either. Now, I think that
I don't either.
probably now a lot of people do the in our Bookstagram world.
Hmm.
And and they are needed. That is a need, so like when an author does their book, they do an arc, which is an advanced reader copy if you didn't know what that stood for. Um and they get the book and they get to review it before it's published and they get to review it and that kind of thing. And then sometimes they're kind of stinkers, some of them,
Hmm.
and some of them are really good. And me, I only have so much time in my life and time in my day, so I try to stick to the top tier. That's why. But I give credit to anybody that can do arcs and they do all that. I think it's wonderful. I guess I probably could do an arc if it was an author that I knew every time I read a book from them, they're knocked out of the park
Hmm.
kind of thing. I
Yeah.
could do that. But some of them, the one girl that's in our group, she reads like 20 some a month, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, where, girl, are you getting time?
I
I
know.
don't
I don't know how
I don't
people
have
do
it.
it. Yeah. I don't know how people
I
do
don't.
it. But then I was going to say, so I have done one, I guess it would be considered an advanced reader copy. I have
Yeah.
a friend, coworker at work. She wrote a thriller, psychological thriller. And looking back on it, I actually feel bad because I feel like in a couple ways I was maybe, it was almost like I was telling her what I was feeling throughout the book, right?
Hmm.
But I had just watched the series You, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's like stalker murder Netflix series. Her book had a couple of the same names from the series. Well,
Oh, okay.
obviously not everybody has listened to You, and so I felt bad because I had told her, like, in my little notes that I wrote, I was like, maybe consider changing your names. And she's like, well, she was so sweet about it. And she's like, well, I am kind of like, yeah, I'm attached to them. And I'm like, I can't believe that I said that. Like, I feel so bad. And that's why, like, with some of these arc reads, I'm like, I would feel bad because I have already
Yeah.
done it to somebody. I would feel bad doing that to someone that's put so much of their heart and soul into a book. Now don't get me wrong. I love the rest of it. And all of my notes to her were like, I think you want me to feel like this. And you're totally making me feel like this. And I think her book is great. Um, but it's just like, that's hard. It is hard to
I don't know
do
if I
that
could critique people like that kind of
because
thing because I'd be afraid of
I'm not a
hurting their
writer.
feelings. Well,
Well, not only that, but it's like, I could never write a book. So who am I to say you didn't do this well enough?
yeah, I understand. I don't know.
You
I
know?
mean, they take it extremely serious when they're doing their arcs, which I understand. I mean, there has to be those serious people, but some of them, they're a little mean when they do that. Now, this is something though. Now, I seen someone talking about it. Now, when I do my reviews, because all my stuff is 5 star, so I'm like, woo!
Mm-hmm.
I always tag my authors when I do it. Now, if I was doing a negative one, like say I would, but like we'll just use Zodiac Academy as an example, and I was saying something, because I don't like it, I would never tag those authors in it because I do understand they do see everybody's comment
Right.
that comes
Yeah.
with it when you tag them.
Yeah.
But I don't see any reason why when you're doing a 5 star, because I've never
Mm-hmm.
had anybody come in on my reviews and write something nasty. But if I seen somebody write something nasty, I probably would
Mm.
remove it for that
Yeah.
reason,
Yeah.
or hide it or whatever.
Yeah. And I've made that mistake too before. There was a series by an indie author that I really liked and I had tagged her, but it wasn't a bad like review necessarily. I had just put in there like I had dropped my stars for it was 4 and I had said I just felt like there wasn't enough depth in like the love story. It just seemed kind of like surface level.
Yes.
Um and then I saw though, like I don't think I was the only one with that feeling, and I had tagged the author, and I was like, maybe in the future I wouldn't have tagged her. But at the same time, she came out and said I didn't really like the way my series was going, which I'm thinking maybe more people felt the same way I did, and so for her future books in the series, she's going to make some adjustments. So I'm like, they have their place. Some of these like negative reviews have their place, but I think it's the way people are saying
Constructive
things.
criticism is always something good. It might sting sometimes a little bit, but that's how you grow. But some people are downright just mean,
Nasty. Yeah.
you know. Now besides that, like into like how I do that now, I do have my spicy rating as well.
I love
Now,
your spice ratings.
no, for me now one again. Everything pretty much I have read is
Spicy.
it's spicy. Everything I read is spicy, but it's all, relatively. I don't do closed door. So if you are going to read anything that I recommend, nothing is closed door, and I do not do young adult. That's the other category I do not play with. I like mine are all adult. But now if you see my pepper rating, because I always put little chili peppers. Now, if I ever have a 1, that's because it's like barely there, maybe a kiss, something like that. You'll
Hmm.
never see that on mine because I'll never read it. Two, you'll never see it. 2 is like light spice, like maybe some like, tension, little mild steam. Again, probably won't see a lot of 2 spice. Now remember, now all kinds of bookstagram people, they do their own scale. So it's always good to look at what they consider spice. Now, you will see 3 peppers with me a lot. That's more moderate open door scenes. There's details. Because our authors that we love to describe things. The one thing you will discover in the world of romantasy, dark fantasy, dark romance, they the authors tend to talk about men in the book, and it's always massive,
Massive. And the
massive,
girth.
and in the
The
girth, and it's
girth.
always that because here I have my candle, this because I have children, I can never have real candles, so I have my fake candle. I can't get both my hand around this, and this is how they describe them.
Coming
So I
at
mean,
you.
I'm coming at you. Think about that. That's a whole lot, and I always
I
giggle.
don't even think that candle is long enough.
Oh no, the candle's never long enough because it's always like the way they just typically describe it. It's like almost like a foot is coming at you, like like 12 inches are coming at you, and I'm always like, that's a lot. That's a lot coming at you, and these girls that are in our book that are the love interests and stuff, and they're always like sweet and innocent, and this was the first one they've ever seen coming at them, and they take it so well. I have questions.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions when they do this. But now, if when you read The Curse That Binds, Laura Thalassa, she fixes that.
Okay.
Hers at least makes sense, or what she does, and it cracks my soul inside. But now, that would be like three chili peppers though, when it's
Hmm.
open door full in it. But
Okay.
now The Curse That Binds, to me, it leads more into my four chili pepper land. Also, The Plated Prisoner, I feel a lot of it is
Okay.
is it can be 3 to 4 peppers, because now 4 peppers is high spice, frequent, very descriptive, and steamy. Also, if you read the Legends of Thesmar, that is definitely a 4 pepper series.
Hmm.
The whole entire series it's there is a lot of wilder. It's wonderful. But now and then I do have 5 chili peppers. That is like off the charts, smutty, kinky, dark. The best book I could say that would relate to that for me, but I haven't read it. I just know of the book would be The
Hmm.
Kiss of the Basilisk. Basilisk?
Okay.
Is that how you pronounce
Basilisk.
it? You know what
Basilisk.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because I believe
Yeah.
the original title for that book was Spit or Swallow, or Swallow
Oh,
and Spit. Yeah.
oh my. Okay.
And they
And
renamed it when it went.
I'll piggyback off of that because I haven't read that book either. That's actually coming in the bookish box. I'm getting that this next month. So I'll have to let you know about it. But what I've heard is like, I guess 5 chili peppers would be there's a lot of smut and
Mhm.
there's a little bit of plot. So,
Yeah, you could look at it that
okay.
way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because that's what I've heard about that book.
Oh, yeah. From what I understand in that book is that she has to go through something and she has to sleep with his father.
Oh,
And then he puts something inside her. I'm not sure if it's a claw or something. And then every time he thinks of her, it does something. That's at least from what I've seen from what people have reviewed. And I mean, it's interesting. It does intrigue me. That would probably be a book for just a good time.
yeah.
I don't know though if that's a series or if that's a standalone kind of thing.
Okay. As far as
I'm
I know,
not
I think
sure.
it's standalone. As far as I know, I think it's standalone. But that's interesting.
That is interesting because most of them, well, at least in the books that I have read, in most of them, it's more of like kind of touch her and die kind of thing. It's like no one
Right.
else gets her.
Oh,
Legacy
and
series, like,
that's a trope we love. Touch her
oh
and
yeah,
die. Oh, it's so
oh my
good. That goes
God,
along with our
yes,
morally gray men.
oh
I
yeah,
think those are kind of hand in hand, but oh, I love those books.
oh absolutely. Because I'm trying to think here. Because I mean, Anathema, oh
Hmm.
absolutely. Probably
Yeah.
the best one is Kingfisher. In when he
Yes.
talks about her, because
Yes.
there's Sarah's Fame. If you now, I'm not an audiobook girl. I don't listen to audiobook, even though my lovely Chelsea is a fancy voice actor there. But if you ever get to listen to graphic audio, I highly suggest
Graphic
Quicksilver.
audio. Okay, and that's the same for me is that I never could get on board with audiobooks because I thought they were boring and would make me fall asleep until I found graphic audio. Because I like the full cast,
Yes.
the sound effects. It literally is like a movie, like the Empyrean series, and even Akatar. Well, Akatar Feyre's voice. It took me a while to warm up to it. But then once I got further into it, I can't listen to audiobooks otherwise,
Well, the
honestly.
man, the man who does Kingfisher's voice.
So good. And
Oh
Anthony,
my,
is it Anthony?
I do
No,
not
maybe not
know to tell you the
Palomino
truth.
or something like that. Okay. I don't know
All
who
I
it is,
all
but
I know is when you hear, because there's certain things that Kingfisher says in the series that are like beyond. I mean, they're just it's just like it's magic.
He's a
But
little
when he
filthy.
talks,
He's
oh,
got a
he
filthy mouth.
this is why I love Kingfisher. Him and the guy that you will meet in The Plated Prisoner, they
Mhm.
both have some of the dirtiest mouths you'd
Yeah.
ever want to hear, and I love them for it. But Kingfisher, but he does a whole thing, uh, with because the girl's name's Sarah Spain, and he does a whole thing and he says stuff oh god, he has a dirty mouth. He's absolutely wonderful. But he does a there's another character that's in the book that you'll meet, and it's a guy that she knows, and his name's Carrion. And Carrion says something in regards to her, and then Kingfisher does this whole like little speech about her,
Mhm.
and it's like one of those moments that it because it's not he's not being a dirty mouth or anything like
Right.
that. It's just this like what he says, it's so unexpected and it's so beautiful what he says. And when you get to it, you'll know what we're talking about if you
Yes.
haven't read it. But
Yeah.
I do feel a lot of people have read that one. I am super excited for November, for when Brimstone comes out.
Yeah, me too. I can't
I have
wait.
it pre-ordered. I have
Yeah.
several books pre-ordered. I
I
have
have.
I have the fourth book in the Legacy series. I have Brimstone. I just got the fourth book in the Crowns of Nyaxis. I got that and it's been delivered, but I have it. But I haven't read the other things
Yeah.
because I try to plan my reading
Mhm.
because some people are mood readers. I'm a planner. I don't know what to call myself, but I have like, I know what I'm going to read. Like if I start a series and if everything, I will read it through to everything that's there. I
Now,
don't stop.
do you stay like very true to your TBR? Like, do you have them listed out, or does that move and do you
Oh, no, no. I pick
change?
and choose.
Okay.
But once I start a series, I will finish it through. Now, I did do when I was reading the Legends of Thesmar, I did take a pause and I read Enchantra because I
Okay.
pre-ordered it and it did come. I couldn't wait. That I actually did stop. Oh, that's it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's amazing. I really like Keely Smith. I really like her reading. And the other thing that I absolutely loved about Enchantra when she talks about Genevieve, the sister, she's thick like a snicker, like I am.
Love it.
So it's because a lot of the characters, they're like little bone sticks. Like I could, like,
Yes.
how are they surviving in
They're
these
so
worlds?
skinny and they haven't eaten in so many years.
Oh, yeah, and
Hmm.
I'm like, how would you be surviving in this world? I'm like,
Right. How would you even have the strength to do all of the things that you're doing?
oh, because now this takes us back. Let's just take a little moment here and let's talk about Akatar, the Court of Thorns and Roses. Now, Feyre is the main character. Then there's two sisters. There's Elaine and there's Nesta. Now, Feyre, you would think is the middle sister from when you're first reading it. Then you realize that Feyre is the youngest sibling out of the
Hmm.
three daughters.
Yep.
Feyre is the one that's going out and hunting for her family so they do not die. They do have a father, but he's kind of useless as well. The sisters are completely useless. There's a sister named Elaine that I mentioned. Elaine grows flowers. Now, she likes to garden. You're starving. Elaine, why aren't you growing vegetables?
Heaven forbid you feed your family with your gardening, Elaine.
Now my husband made a point because I said this to him. Again, remember, he doesn't listen half the time when I'm saying stuff, but I was asking him this. And then he brought up the point. This is from a man's mind. He said, have you ever thought that maybe the seeds for vegetables weren't available?
Okay. Fair.
Because he
That's
said
fair.
flowers just grow. He said maybe she was able to get. I
Are you
said,
saying though that you can't even go pick an apple off of a tree and try to harvest those? You can't
oh
even
yeah, because
try?
you could start growing a tree. I mean, you can
Yeah.
get an apple tree. I
Or when
don't
you
know.
go to market and you have just enough money,
I
you
mean,
can't
start
you
growing
can't
some
do those?
carrots. Start
Hmm.
growing carrots or something. I don't know. So I
I can
have a lot of
appreciate that
questions for
though.
her.
I can
But I have a
appreciate
lot of
that.
Elaine. Now, see, now if I had now, if you haven't read Akatar, ignore us here. But um, when you're talking about the three sisters, I mean, I'm okay with Feyre. I think she's fantastic. I loved her through the series, that kind of thing. I truly love Nesta because when you get to the fifth book and it's her story, I understand why she is the way she is.
Yes.
But Elaine bothers me.
Well, and here's the thing, because I'm a middle child. So I don't I feel like Elaine is just not middle child. She doesn't have the middle child syndrome because she's doesn't do anything. Like as a middle child, I am so go, go, go. I'm the tough one. My siblings would say I'm mean because I'm very straightforward or more sassy. And that's why like I feel like I'm more of a Feyre and Nesta rolled into one.
Yeah,
And that's why it's like Elaine's got to have some kind of big character arc coming.
I think we're just seeing the surface of Elaine. I think it's what she presents. And I think in my mind, I think we're going to see that there's something darker within Elaine.
I
Because
hope
right now
so.
she's all sunshine and roses. Because that's how she presents herself. She's very sweet, and she, grows flowers and all this
She's the
stuff.
beauty and she's so delicate.
And there's something lingering inside her that I think we're going to see maybe that's darker. And I don't think Feyre sees it coming.
Could
I
see that.
think Nesta knows. I think Nesta knows more than what Nesta says, but Nesta lets things play out because
Okay.
that's what I think. But
Yeah.
I don't think Feyre sees it. I think Rhys sees it. I think Rhys sees it.
I
I
can't wait
think
till
he
everybody
knows.
reads it so they know what we're
It's
talking
such
about.
it's such a good story. And then uh, if you have read ACOTAR, let us know in the comments or we'll make a little poll or something. Did you love Tamlin when you first read it? When you first read the first book, did you love Tamlin? There are girls that went out and got Tamlin tattoos.
Before reading the rest of the
Oh yeah,
series.
because remember the books, they weren't all out. Remember, she hadn't wrote all of them. We're coming into it after, the series has been out for 10 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there are
Yes.
people that thought Tamlin was
I
wonderful.
mean, I love Tamlin. I can fix. Okay, we can't say anymore. We can't spoil anything.
Ta Tamlin's
But I
he's an
love saying
interesting piece.
I can fix Tamlin. That's how much I loved him in the beginning.
I don't know. Hmm, I think he does have redemption. I do think that he can be, but he's still kind of a dick though. He still is. Because you remember when he said that she looked clean?
That was so funny. It's
You
so
know,
funny. Your hair is clean or whatever he
he's
said.
because and he's now mind you, no, because this isn't a young man saying these things that hasn't been around girls. He's 500 and some years old. So he's had his time to learn how to talk to a lady, and that was how he talked to her.
Very out of
But you
practice.
but when you see him and you first meet him, you truly believe the goodness of him because I think there is goodness in him. I do think there's something there that is redeemable, but he's a dick and then he becomes even a bigger dick as the books go on. Just so everyone.
We're gonna have to have like a four girls, one TBR ACOTAR episode where we
Oh, I
go into
oh
all of
definitely.
it. Hmm.
Oh, definitely. Now since Sarah has announced that she has finished the drafts and stuff of book 6. Um, I am excited to see what she does. And I have my theories. You've looked up theories and stuff.
Hmm.
Once you read the series, you will see why everybody loves it so much. Now that I
Yeah.
have met people that are not fans of it, and it's
I
very
feel like,
surprising to me.
I have met people that couldn't get through the first few chapters, and I struggled through the first few chapters of ACOTAR. But once you push through, and I think that's the problem is that so many people just DNF or, do not finish as DNF books. And then that's why they didn't get into the series. So it's like you kind of have to stick with it
I mean, because
a
when
little
you
bit.
look at it, I mean, it's not a thick book. It's good, but as you can see, I like to do the little sticky thing. These are good moments. Look at what you're missing.
And there's so
There's
many.
there's good moments, and
So many.
there's things that they say to each other. I don't know. There's things that those characters in that world, it stays with you. I think that's why I love it so much. And that is probably if anybody is like even on the fence of even getting into romantasy, um, that is I think my number one recommendation if you want to
Yeah.
dip your toe because
See, and
it's a good series.
I also say like maybe even start with the Empyrean because it's not full fantasy.
Mhm.
But there's dragons, so I would even say that's a good segue into the romantasy.
Now, I would not recommend The Plated Prisoner to be your first if you're
No.
dipping your toe into it.
Yeah.
Um, Now, if
If
you've
you're
read a
yeah, if
lot
you're
of dark,
coming off of like contemporary romance and then try to go straight into dark romance, yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
it's for me, it's just it's very dark. It's a very dark, and it has some very heavy things in it.
Yeah,
You
hard to
know,
read.
now mind you, now she does do trigger warnings. She lets you know, like things that are happening that if you're not that comfortable with it. Now my one friend, she was on the fence. She didn't know if she wanted to read it, and because there is a scene that there's an essay in that book, and she didn't know if she wanted to get into it because of that. I told her, I said, there's just that one. I said, there's that one moment, and but there's things that happen after that that are deserved.
Hmm.
So she started reading it and she absorbed it and absolutely loved
Yeah,
it. So sometimes when you see a trigger warning, that doesn't mean that that's going to ruin the entire series for you,
right.
I guess I should say.
And it's
But that,
not that doesn't mean it's like a very prevalent part of the book. It might be a very
yes,
minute part of the book. Yeah. And
yeah,
which is important for the world building or the character arc. It's you have to read it in order to understand the character.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh yeah, because the two girls. Oh yeah, that's a very good example right there. But Play to Prisoner though, I would still recommend it, but I just wouldn't recommend it if it was your first dip. Because I did have my one friend. I got her to read Akatar. I would love to get her to read Play to Prisoner next, but I hey, I got her to read Akatar. That was like my exciting moment,
Yes.
and it was so much fun reading that. Well, because I've already read it, and then reading a lot, knowing what part she was on, she would tell me
Mhm.
and stuff, and I'd ask her questions
Yeah.
just because I wanted to see what her thoughts were through it. Because I didn't
Mhm.
have someone, even though I had it recommended to me.
Mhm.
I didn't have someone right there with me going, "Hey, what do you think
Right.
of this?" I didn't have anybody yet because I really
Yeah.
wasn't in the when I read Akatar, I wasn't in the Bookstagram world.
Mhm.
I didn't have that part because
Yeah.
I read from the end of August until the end of September. I read the entire Akatar
Mhm.
series, and then I started my Bookstagram in October.
Yeah. See, and I'm glad I had a girlfriend that kept recommending it to me. And it was funny because she'd be like, "Have you read Akatar yet?" And I'm like, "What the heck is this Akatar she keeps talking about?" And then I finally Googled it and saw that it was A Court of Thorns and Roses and then all the other ones. And but then yeah, I would like message her and tell her, "Oh my gosh, this just happened." And that was really fun. So I hope that if anybody is putting that on their TBR that they do that with us because it would be so fun hearing from them
Oh,
about what they think.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And people are, when they read that series, because you have different thoughts and feelings and emotions through the entire series, because you feel one way at the beginning with certain things. And then as the books and as you read them, your mind changes on different things with it. And then, of course, she brings in other characters, and then you'll end up in this world of so many questions, just like we are, because like I said, we're hanging on for book 6, and I absolutely can't wait. I'm hoping that she releases it next year. I've seen some people say maybe February, and then I've seen some people say maybe like late spring. So I'm thinking maybe
Hmm.
May, because I don't know. I'm just excited for whenever it does come out. But I am going to read Crescent City. That's my
Good.
my next thing. Before it does come out,
Yeah.
everyone has said to read Crescent City because
You
there's
have to.
crossovers
Yeah.
in her world.
Hmm.
So, but once you buy A Court of Thorns and Roses, you're going to be like us and have a TBR list that's about 500
Yep.
books.
Yep.
I bet you I have probably close to 500 books. Well, not here. I'm not saying physical copy, but I bet you
Right.
by the time I have like all the things, at least
Hmm.
300 and some, I bet you,
Yeah.
is on my TBR.
And see, I need to get good because I'll go on Instagram and especially with an M with Twisted Dreamland, and she puts something out, and I'll save it to my books. I have a books that I've read, and then I have a books to be read, and that doesn't mean that I've necessarily carried those over to my Goodreads account for my
Yeah.
TBR. And so, yeah, I agree. I probably have way more than I even realized that I want to try to get through in a lifetime.
Wait, because I went through here, I've seen like several different other, Bookstagram accounts, and they were talking about some other books, and I've added them to my Amazon. See, I have my Amazon list, and then I go from my Amazon list. If I really think I'm gonna like it, then I move it over to I want to read on my Goodreads account.
Okay.
And but I did have a Fable account as well, but it just got too many things. So
Hmm.
even though I really like how Fable, if you ever have that little app, it's really a really nice one. Um, it keeps track of like your reading streak, and it keeps like track of like what type of books you're reading, that percentage, and does like a little spiel about you. But I wasn't keeping up. I had gone like almost 200 and some days of a reading streak,
Wow.
and then that I read every single day, and then the summer happened, and the spring, or the late spring and summer happened, and I fell off the wagon, and then all my children started talking to me and my husband. But I don't know. But I hope everybody enjoyed this today, and found it fun with what we're saying. Now, if you, one of the things that we'd like, please write us on our Instagram account of Two Girls One TBR. Let us know what unpopular tropes that either you like or you don't like. We'd like to hear your opinions, because that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
We hear more
Eh,
from you, then we can talk about more other topics if you
yeah.
do like this episode. Um, Now, I guess, what are we going to be doing next? What is the next episode, Chelsea?
So next, you're gonna have Rebecca and Rebecca and Heather.
Yes.
And the next episode is the one where a book changed our standards. And I'm very much looking forward to listening to them talk about that.
I'm excited to have Heather on too, because I think she'll be super fun as well. And then you'll be back for episode 3.
Three,
So
yes.
so Chelsea will be back. So, but now, if you love this episode, whether you laughed, you cried, or you added all these books to your TBR list or your shopping cart, subscribe to us, leave a review, tag us at Two Girls One TBR. We want to see your unhinged TBR list. And then until next time, you know, keep your books filthy and your TBR list unhinged.
Can't wait.
So I can't wait. I'm hoping, like, again, please, everybody, this is our first episode. Let us know how we did. I hope we did
Yeah.
good, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. I
So,
can't wait to like connect with more people and see what other episodes we have in store. I'm very excited.
yes.
Yeah.
And then if there's books and stuff that that you're interested in or whatever, see if we've read them, or just let us know. We'll add it to our never-ending TBR list.
Death by TBR.
Well, I'm going to say goodnight, and I'm going to also say goodnight to Fabio, because I think we need to say goodnight to him, our unofficial
Mascot.
mascot. Oh God, that makes me laugh so hard. Fabio. I can't believe it's not butter. Oh no, wait, one side note before we do go. My husband did remind me, because I didn't even remember this, that Fabio was on a roller coaster like at Six Flags somewhere, and a bird hit him directly in the face and broke his nose and everything, and he had like a big bandage and stuff on his face for a long time.
Wow.
For someone
Poor
that does
Fabio.
modeling,
Yeah. That would
or
be
for doing
devastating.
I would say poor Fabio. So good night, Fabio. I hope you're healed.
Good night, everyone, and good night, Fabio.
Good night. Thank you all. Bye bye.
Bye.